Hello and welcome to Tangle Tower. This is a part of a series, the Detective Grimoire series. And this is actually, I believe, like the second game of the Detective Grimoire series. However, the first one had like a very different style, and I don't know how canonically connected they are. But I wanted to play this one first because it has another game that's coming out that is probably more connected and has the same style. Now, what this game is a detective, but just a point and click. We're doing something just very chill, very simple, especially since this is like the night after my devastating Risk of Rain loss. I haven't recovered from that. We will get back to that. But yeah, we're doing something very different. And honestly, this game, I really like its art style and stuff. It's very fascinating in its story. And it's all fully voice acted too, so yay! Yeah. Wanted to shift gears to something very different. I like not having a set thing of what to play. Like, if I just think about a game long enough, I'm just gonna play that. But this is one of the short games that I'm gonna play. This is probably gonna be like 2 to 3 parts. But yeah, what this game is that we're essentially a detective. We are Detective Grimoire, and we are solving a locked room murder. And we'll let it play out and explain itself. That is what you'll start with. Alright. I did play this before. I actually have like 100%. I've definitely played this. And this is just a game I want to come back to. I haven't played it in a while, so it's a treat. I doubt there are many playthroughs for this game. I'll be the one. I want to do it. I love playing games that people don't really play or post playthroughs of. Tangle Tower. Mid-afternoon. This game's gorgeous. Lake's Edge.
You ready, Sally?
Grimoire, I've been standing here for 7.5 minutes.
Just checking.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank. Did you read the case file? What do you think?
I'm not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on. Did you read it?
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
I love Grimoire. Alright, so our case file. Our murder victim is Freya Fellow, 19. Dialed whilst painting a portrait of Flora Fellow, 58, so a relative. Location, Flora's tower. Flora was present as she was posing for a portrait. Freya Fellow was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. No weapon was found at the scene, but the subject of Freya's unfinished painting is holding a knife. The red color on the tip of the knife is not paint, it was discovered to be blood. So this is our crime scene, and we'll go to there and investigate it more. So we have a very strange murder. Single stab wound, no found weapon. Tangle Tower, so this is where we're at. And it's basically just this big house. A small painting on a scrap of paper. A few notes have been written on the back. Nowadays it goes by Tangle Tower, but it's actually a pair of towers connected by a mansion at the base. It's surrounded by a circular lake. The water is an unusual mix of colors. The lake is enclosed by sheer, pale cliffs. They're too steep and smooth to climb. Tangle Tower is currently home to both the Fellow family and the Pointer family. Alright, that's all we have right now. Ah, here we go. So we don't know much about the victim. This is Freya Fellow. So this is what we already know. How was Freya killed? So that's what we need to figure out. How. Alright, so that's all the information we have.
It's a bird bath.
Astute observation, Grimoire.
Is that just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune. Doot, 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 doot.
Please don't do that.
I forgot how great the dialogue in this game was.
It's just an archway, but it seems a little ominous. Like walking through it might give you bad luck.
Too late.
It's the little boat we used to cross the lake. It's the only way on or off the island.
And that's interesting to note.
What a comforting thought.
Because if that's correct, then our likely killer has to be within this manor. This mansion, towers, whatever.
It's a garden, I think. It's currently far away.
We could walk closer to it.
Oh, I will.
Ready when you are.
So this is the only way to move. I just wanted to get some information on the environment. The gardens.
It's a stone carving. Wonder how it got cracked.
I think it's supposed to look like that.
It's an egg.
It's an egg.
I haven't played this game in a while. I'm just doing this.
It's a statue of some hideous, scaly, bipedal fish monster.
Playing a harp.
Playing a harp. Hang on a second.
So this will happen where there'll be a puzzle that we have to look closer at.
This isn't just a regular statue, is it?
Something tells me we're not gonna solve this just yet.
So yeah, this is a puzzle that we're gonna have to get back to later.
Let's come back later. It must do something.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
So now we have something new. So the harp statue, an old weather statue of an amphibious creature holding a large harp. Symbols are engraved on each of the harp's 4 column segments. Alright. So that will be important later.
Spooky. What do you think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
Is it working?
No. It's quiet.
If you say too quiet,
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to say, too quiet?
It's not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet.
I love these two.
What animal is that?
Hawk. Bear. Lizard.
Right, of course. A hawk bear lizard.
I don't think there's anything else of note in this area, so we're going to continue. Main entrance.
Oh.
What?
Oh. There's an O on the floor.
Right there.
Oh yeah. Tangle Tower.
This guy's here to solve a murder.
Twir.
Twerk. To be honest, that's just how that's what I would also do.
Is that an envelope?
It's been opened, but the letter's still in there. Let's read it.
Let's open it.
Isn't that an invasion of someone's privacy?
No, definitely.
Open letter. The envelope has been ripped open. There's a single piece of paper inside. The combination is drawn on the other sheet. Once you have it memorized, destroy it. I do not agree with your reasons. You will not find it down there. So a very ominous letter.
Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us. Little bird feeders.
How do you know they're for birds?
Ah, there's a heart engraved in the tree. I didn't know people actually did that.
Do people actually do that? I feel like I've never really seen it.
PPFF.
Well, we know that there's 2 different families in this place. Fellows and Pointers.
Should we ring the doorbell?
Why would we not?
So I'm guessing the families aren't too related? It's been a while since I played, so I actually don't remember last off.
It's a little melody.
Important text. Melody. Oh, I have to actually move, don't I?
Don't think it's locked.
Oh, that means we can just walk straight in, right?
I'm pretty sure that's the rule, yeah.
Oh, we have a few locations. We're gonna go this way. We'll get back there. So the Fellows and the Pointers. So we know that they have their two separate towers. I love just the difference in the contrast.
Now it's a big glass tube filled with water.
There are weeds in there. And sand.
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except there's nothing living in it. Anymore.
Bush.
Sally, check those plants for clues.
I was just clicking on it.
Is soil a clue?
It could be.
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
That sounds boring. No, we'll take a look at it. Oh my god, there's a lot of information here.
Lord Fellow.
Looks like he was married twice.
Scandal.
Scandals. It's Lady Fellow.
Lady Fellow.
Do these people not have first names?
Selena Stonetop.
No family line. Apparently, she just appeared out of nowhere.
Felicia Fellow.
Freya's mother.
Do you think she still lives here?
So that could be someone that we meet.
Damien Dusk.
Whoa. Is it too late to change my name to Detective Dusk?
I don't know. Detective Grimoire is pretty awesome.
It's Freya's father. Do you think he still lives here?
And then Freya.
Freya Fellow.
The murder victim.
She's barely related to the main family at
Yeah,
all.
that's very interesting. That's just part of the family that Lord Fellow married off into. Alright, now that we've looked at that line, we'll look over at this line.
Lady Fellow.
Do these people not have first names?
Oh, I already looked at that.
Flint Fellow.
A purebred fellow, if there ever was one. Married a randomer, though.
Do you think he still lives here?
Yeah, then Everstone. Felix Fellow.
Felix Fellow. Looks like he married his way into the Remington family.
Do you think he still lives here? Emily Everstone. Do you think she still lives here?
Yeah, he had none to say. I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Fitzfellow. Half fellow, half Everstone.
Do you think he still lives here?
They're gonna keep saying that 'cause some of these people do in fact live there, and we will meet them.
Lord Remington.
He sounds important.
The lady.
Lady Remington.
I think I have one of those in my bathroom.
Is that a brand?
Flora Remington.
I think she's mentioned in our case file.
Yes, she was present, I believe, at the crime scene. Or I could just be making that up right now, and that hasn't been said yet. Fiona Fellow.
Fiona Fellow. Dead center. She must be important.
She's half fellow and half Remington.
Do you think she still lives here?
Probably the main inheritor, probably, of these families, because it looks like she's connected to all of them. Alright, we'll go over here.
Richard Remington.
The one and only.
Why are they stupid?
Primrose Remington.
I always liked the name Primrose.
That's a good name.
Do you think she still lives here?
Alright, then the Pointer family, the other family on the other side of the house.
Lord Pointer.
This goes back a couple of generations. Lady Pointer.
How do you become a lady? I want to be a lady.
I want to be a lady.
Percival Pointer. He married into the Remington family.
Do you think he still lives here?
I'm sorry, I zoned out because I was thinking, because I'm trying to remember who we do meet.
Pandora Pointer.
All this alliteration isn't happening by accident.
Yeah, look at it. I just
Do
realized.
you think she still lives here?
Yeah, it's like they'll have one from one side of the family and one from the other. Like Remington with a fellow Flora Remington. Primrose Remington, and it's just connected by, yeah, except for like these two probably, but yeah, that's because they married into like just people and not these like big families.
Buck Brackley.
What a guy.
What a name.
Do you think he still lives here?
And then Penelope Pointer.
Penelope Pointer.
Half Pointer, half Brackley.
Do you think she still lives here?
Trying to keep in mind. We'll meet some of these. Some of these people are definitely in this tower for sure. Right?
This one has a big P.
That's probably important.
How very perceptive of you.
A big letter F.
Of course. Who doesn't hang a giant banner of their initial in the lobby of their mansion?
It's not locked.
A door.
Oh, what's behind it?
A room.
Alright, so there's rooms. So these are the rooms that we just looked at. However, the one we want is up here. Up the fellow tower. Flora's tower. So this is the crime scene. We'll investigate before we try to talk to her.
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
Brush and palette. The palette has a variety of paints loaded onto it. The largest is a blob of black in the middle. The paintbrush is still covered with dried red paint. Paint sets?
Freya's painting supplies.
Freya's paints. Small glass pots of red, yellow, blue, black, and white paint. The glass pots are all cracked down one side. So they're all cracked for some reason. They're not busted, but they're all cracked, which is very odd. The painting.
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it?
Looks that way.
Painted portrait. Freya was unable to finish the painting as she died sometime during the process. Flora appears to be wielding a knife. The red substance on the tip was discovered to be blood. So it's a very odd thing to be painting.
I wonder if all of Freya's paintings are this creepy. Maybe it's just because she never got to finish it.
There's something wrong with the crime scene. And something really weird about the murder weapon.
We didn't find a murder weapon.
Well, let's think about that. I love when they do these sort of things. Just little animated portraits. Alright. There's something very strange about how Freya was killed. Oh god. I have to think. So there's a specific combination. Is this right? I didn't even look at the grammar. Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because Freya put it there. I mean, that makes sense. That is a correct statement. That might be the statement.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because Freya put it there. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
One thing? Oh, you won't even tell me what the one thing was. Because... But it was removed from the sea? Oh, that's also true, I think.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood, but it was removed from the scene. Almost.
Fuck.
Maybe just change one thing.
So it's right here, then. Because Freya put it there, because Freya's gonna eat it, that's not correct. Because it's... If this is... Grimoire, if this is your line of thinking, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Flora's
God
portrait
damn it.
is holding a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
Grimoire, please.
What?
Weird, huh?
You think Freya was stabbed by a painting? Not by the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
Mm-hmm. Freya was standing right up by the canvas when she was killed. There's blood on the knife. It's the murder weapon.
Right, but it's not actually a knife. It can't stab.
See any other knives around here? Case closed.
The case is not closed. And even if you were right, where does that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
You wanted to be the answer so bad. An unfinished painting. So this will be the first chapter. We'll keep going. Because this is not a very long game. So we got this painting. We'll look around some more before we talk to Flora.
Is that an egg? An egg with bird feet.
It's also covered in gemstones. What a completely ordinary object.
Look closer. Oh, jeez.
I think it's a container for something.
Those gems look like they come off.
Oh god, I have to remember things. Oh. Alright. Okay, so they're a little weird, so I think... I'm gonna start with that one and go around. Alright. This one? Long guy? Purple, blue? Alright. I'm gonna do this big twisty one. Big twisty one. Is that that one? Red, blue. Then twisty one. Purple, yellow. Long one. Pink, pink. Okay, something's not right. Unless that's correct. There's someone that does that. No, a yellow one has to be there. So... Wait, the long... Oh, okay, no, I had those two mixed up, I think. Yes.
Nope.
Fuck.
Did you check the clue on the pretty sure it explains where to put each of the gemstones?
Okay, I looked at one weird. Okay, let me look. Okay. That one's right. That one's two pinks. What did I mess up? That one's right. Which one are it? Which one? That one's right. Oh, it's this one.
No, that was it.
Yeah,
Nice work.
we solved the puzzle.
Did it unlock? What's in there?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Well, I'm not leaving without a clue.
So I'm taking the whole fucking egg.
An empty egg is a clue, right?
Empty egg. Once unlocked, the egg can be opened. It's... Fuck. Once unlocked, the egg can be opened. It's currently empty. The lining of the egg is a soft velvet-like material. The egg is supported by a stand made of brass. It rests on 3 strange feet with pointed claws. So weird, we just have this mechanism with nothing in it.
Is that a gramophone?
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
Another broken item. Gramophone. It plays cassette tapes instead of vinyl records. It's pointed towards the middle of the room. There's noticeable cracks running through it, all the way from the horn down through the tape deck. That's strange. That's
what about the
suspicious.
cassette tape?
Oh.
Yeah, it sure is. Pink.
Huh. To Freya. Cracked tape. The cassette tape has a crack down the middle. There is a handwritten message on the label to Freya. That's odd. It's also broken.
Do you think it still works?
The gramophone? Yeah, we could give it a go. It's piano music.
Alright, is recording of piano music. It plays for a short while before stopping. Yeah, it's already reset. I like pressing the buttons. Alright.
We're at the top of the tower, right?
I think so. Why?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing.
Well, let's talk to her now. I think we got what we needed. Oh, I love her design.
Flora... Philo?
It's so good.
Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Nothing. What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now.
She's just nonverbal, guys. So that was our encounter. Now we'll ask some questions.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us, Flora? I don't really know anything about you at all.
I think that's the way she likes it. We'll just have to ask other people about her.
Yeah, okay.
Why, yesterday.
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
Was this something you had planned with her ahead of time?
Was there something special about yesterday?
Did you talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
She's not going to answer us, is she?
Nope. But at least we can say we tried.
We did.
Were you close with Freya? How are you two related? Did you kill Freya?
Grimoire!
What? I don't even think she's listening.
Oh, she's listening.
Anything we should know? Any hobbies? Besides staring out the window?
We could show her stuff.
Did you ask Freya to paint this? Or was it her idea?
What is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife.
Nothing. Egg.
Flora, this is your egg? Why do you keep it locked?
Is there supposed to be something in there? Or is it always empty?
I'll go through them all. Yeah. I mean, she won't say anything.
Is this your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
Alright, that appears to be... Oh, wait.
Flora, you were definitely in the room at the time of the murder. Surely you must have seen something? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya? She's acting pretty suspicious if you ask me.
I don't know. Maybe she really doesn't know anything.
How is that possible?
Yes, it's very interesting because she was there, but she doesn't seem to know anything. But she was right there. Right, that's all we can do with her right now. Is there... I guess now we just start doing some investigations. We have all these rooms to see. We're gonna just start going down the line. Workshop. We have another person. I'm gonna look around though.
A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand-painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also, I mean, no offense, but you can just tell.
Painted model, a wooden carving of a man holding a sword. The model has been hand-painted, but the paint is not skillfully applied. Yellow, blue, black, and white paints were found nearby. Got just a little figure.
Puffer fish?
Yes,
Correct.
it's also a lamp, for some reason.
They just love making pufferfish into lamps, don't they?
It's a magic lamp. Can we summon the genie?
Please, Grimoire, let me summon the genie.
If we get really stuck, sure.
If this mystery is stumping us, maybe we'll ask. Shell.
That's a massive conch shell. Do you think there's a little crab living inside?
I hope so. A hammock. It's kind of worn out.
I would politely describe it as lived in. Sir? Can you hear me? I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
Well, I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
Alright, so this is Felix.
So, Felix, what exactly do you, do?
Is it not obvious? I'm an explorer. Explorer/treasure hunter. Yes, well, best in the world.
We're talking like curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that. But I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
Listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long. I go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the Fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is...
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
Don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world. They are the greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
Alright. Where were you yesterday?
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason we're here.
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help, but I wish you all the best in your investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, working on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
What have you got?
A murder. Let's see if we get a statement.
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. Uncertain, as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Right, fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course. Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
Alright, so we got some more names, some more characters, and we'll get to them. So he claims that he was in his room and heard two sets of footsteps. One he didn't know, and one he saw as Poppy. So that's interesting. There's people leaving from the top. We also saw Fitz's room that seems to be connected to another room, so we'll keep that in mind. We don't have what we need to do here, as with Flora.
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Yes, been married over 20 years now.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of three. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know.
Interesting.
You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Let's move on.
Unimpressed. Freya.
Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower.
Interesting. Alright, we're just gonna start going down the stuff.
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all. Something of a fresh start.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement with her siblings. After they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, yes, less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it?
That's interesting. It also sounds like it's gonna be very symbolic. Especially since it's just a web of families.
What's this?
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comforting.
Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way, but I can't recall. I'm as confused as you are.
Alright, so he doesn't know about the letter.
It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Ah, yes, so we shall.
Yikes.
Looks like Freya's paints.
Do you know why the pots are cracked down one side?
No, that's very odd. They're normally in excellent condition.
You seem pretty sure about that.
It would have been a beautiful painting. It's rather a shame Freya was unable to finish it.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange, aren't they? The emotion of the piece taking over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at.
So it might not be a knife at all, but then what is it?
Does Flora normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
God, makes sense.
Flora's quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do. That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Alright, so we'll know who to ask about that.
I've been carving for a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it, as you can
beautiful.
see.
Do you paint them yourself too?
I do indeed, yes. Freya kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on hard fact.
Hard fact, huh? So, you own a sword, Felix?
Of course. I own a great many. But my weapons are stored well away from Tangle Tower. Safety first and all that.
You're starting to get a feel for him. It feels like he might be a little stuck in the past, so we can't keep talking to him, it seems. Alright. So, we'll move on. We'll go down to our next room. Freya's room. It's a very upsetting room.
It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
It's a little wooden box for paintbrushes.
To the casual observer, maybe.
Oh,
They're not real paintbrushes. Looks like they're part of some kind of lock mechanism.
Oh no, I have to figure this out again? Oh god. Oh, I remember this. Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh no. There. Boy. Oh, this dreadful thing. Am I figuring it out on accident? I think I am. No, I'm cooking. I'm cooking. I'm not cooking. I'm not cooking. Cooking. Wait. Hear me out. Work with me. I'm such a genius. Okay. Do I have... So we have small... I'm guessing this is just height, so... Big, small. A green has to go here, a blue has to go here. So I think... The triangular one goes here, a wide one goes there, so either this one or that one. But then an orange one goes there and a blue one goes there. I wanna say this because it's orange and small. The green one will wait. This one has to be one of these two, but I think it has to be this because we need blue here. Then that.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Genius.
Perfect. What was in the box?
Just a photograph. Well, most of a photograph.
Ripped photo. A photograph of two young girls, one with red hair, the other with green hair. The photo has a large piece missing. It seems to have been ripped off. So this might be Freya. And we don't know who this is.
That painting is really something.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on. There's a smaller version down by the floor.
It's a photograph.
A small... Oh, okay, photo painting. A small photograph of Freya's abstract painting. A piece of adhesive tape is stuck on it. Lines have been drawn with black ink around the edges. It's hard to tell what it is. It kind of just... It looks kind of like a mountain at first glance. I wish we got... I forgot about this. We'll have to ask people about that.
Freya's bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
He's had a rough couple of days.
He's probably not taking it well.
Not the kind of lamp I choose for my bedroom, but fair enough.
It's cool. Looks like old mining equipment or something.
Did Freya paint those animals on her ceiling?
They're kinda simplistic.
Maybe she painted them when she was younger. Drawings, taped up on the wall.
What's that one on the left?
Looks like two people standing together in a garden.
Huh?
One of them's holding a red rose.
Freya's drawings. A drawing of a man standing with a woman in a garden. He's holding a red rose. A drawing of a young woman. And a drawing of a person wearing a cloak. Interesting. Alright. I don't think there's much else.
It's a fish, I think?
I think it looks more like a whale.
Fine, it's a whale.
Could also be a shark.
I
That painting.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Maybe Freya,
It's-
there's
It's
a...
a photograph.
It's what we've already been through. Alright, I think we're done in here.
Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
I don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
No windows either.
Alright. We're gonna move on and we're gonna meet the final fellow. Library.
It's an illustrated book about birds.
And it's been left open. Looks like somebody was halfway through reading it.
Or it was left open for us to find.
Ever so slightly unnerving.
Awesome. Bird book. The ink dip is a remarkably intelligent bird with a very long lifespan, even among avian mistids. Alright. Other birds are often aggressive towards it, and the ink dip lives most of its life alone. It has particular feeding habits and usually only eats the seeds of the Tantum emica. Picture, it's probably that. Alright.
Sure. Why not build a science lab in the corner of the library?
The search for new knowledge. The archiving of old knowledge. It's downright poetic.
Books about ancient history, I think?
These books are ancient history. I think they'd crumble into dust if I tried to pick them up.
Good excuse.
Thanks.
Geography?
Books about geography.
Yeah.
Skip.
Same.
Books about insects.
Well, theoretically. There's not a single book on that shelf.
Oh yeah, it's empty. That's very...
Huh.
I don't know if I noticed that the first time, that this shelf is just empty. That's odd.
Books about space.
They're relatively untouched.
That will be interesting for later.
Is that a snow globe?
Of sorts.
I love it. So these must be the cliffs that surround the tower. Because they mentioned white cliffs that can't really be climbed. And this is the weird water and the normal water.
Hey, look at that. It's a model of Tangle Tower. There's the lake and those weird mountains. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing souvenir.
Yeah, look at the Tangle Tower. The home of a murder and like 2 to 3 families. I take this commemorative snow globe. Who made this, by the way? Yippee! Who made the snow globe?
A chalkboard.
Is this a library or a classroom?
Excuse us, we're getting closer. Oh my goodness.
Any idea what this means?
Not a clue.
I'm gonna have to know.
Math equations.
You don't sound confident.
Don't look at them for too long. You'll give yourself a headache.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not sure I learned anything from that.
Alright, I guess. Oh, wait. Some more books?
Books about birds.
The shelves are about half empty.
So people have been looking at birds. So I.
Oh, so you're a the shelves are half empty kind of person.
You knew this already.
Remember, we've been partners for a while.
Books about nature?
So this one's half empty. That one is empty. That one's full. They've made sure to point that out to us specifically. Alright, let's beat the last fellow. We'll go to the other fellow.
I would expect bacteria of that nature to thrive in these conditions.
Excuse me.
Taking all the environmental factors into account, there must be something I am still missing.
May I talk to you, miss?
She knows we're here. She just doesn't care.
I am a detective, and I need to talk.
Correction. You do not need to talk to me.
Oh no? How come?
Because I am not a suspect. I am completely innocent of any and all crimes.
Thanks for letting me know.
Speaking of which, you have now been at Tangle Tower for over 23 minutes. Surely you have already reached a sturdy hypothesis.
A hypothesis? About the murder?
Yeah, come on, Grimoire, hurry up.
Come on.
My apologies. Unfortunately, protocol dictates I must at least meet all the suspects. And that includes you. So, could you tell me your name?
Fifi Fellow, microbiologist, inventor, innovator.
She's so cute. I love Fifi.
You will need to be more specific. Oneself cannot be summarized in a single response without doing one a great disservice.
So true.
Well, first of all, you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter of...
Correct. My father and mother are named Flora and Felix, but you need not question either of them. It will only waste valuable time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
Thanks for the tip.
Fifi, you said you were a micro... something or other?
Microbiologist, but it is an insignificant label. My studies cannot be categorized in any one recognized field.
What made you want to become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed my first one at age 10.
Constructed a microscope?
Correct.
And what's that thing on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does it glow red when you get angry?
No, but that would be most amusing.
Damn it, why did I think of that?
What can you tell me about the murder?
What can you tell me about... Wait, that's what I'm supposed to ask you.
Yes, however, you were too slow.
You fancy yourself a detective too, Fifi?
I just need to know what happened.
Me too. So talk.
Fine. I knew ahead of time that Freya was going to be busy with her painting all day, so I had planned to spend the afternoon with Poppy. I was in the library all morning preparing the equipment for an experiment, only to find out that Poppy had made other plans and she was in fact planning to ignore me completely.
Oh.
So what did you do instead?
I locked myself in my room and cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds kind of sad.
It is not unusual.
Oh. Good.
This is a neurodivergent person. That is what we have gathered. But it seems like she cares for Freya with how she said that. And there seems to be a connection with her and Poppy for sure. We'll get her statement though.
I was in my room. The lights were off and the door was locked. Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me. I opened the door. Poppy came into my room. Her makeup was leaking. She told me Freya was dead. I did not believe it. I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face. She insisted that we go up to Flora's tower. We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs. When I saw Freya lying on the floor, I was completely and utterly devastated. Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting. Poppy and I took the sample back downstairs to the library. We performed a test and found out that it was, in fact, blood.
You performed that scientific test immediately, even though you were feeling so upset?
Of course. Why would one affect the other?
That sounds like coping. Sounds like a form of coping. Let's get some information about your family.
Name, Flora Fellow. Age, 44. Profession, unknown. Likes, unknown. Dislikes. Unknown.
Isn't she your mother? How do you not know anything?
I believe other people may have discovered methods of reaching her, but I have little capacity for interpreting nonverbal communication.
And how long has Flora been non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what happened to make her stop talking entirely?
She suffered a great loss, something she has been unable to move beyond.
Tangle Tower, is this the autism tower? I do like this, like, diversity in how these people are, like, mentally. You'll see as we discover everyone how greatly fascinating they all are.
Name, Felix Fellow. Age, 53. Profession, none. Likes, collecting objects of negligible monetary value and assigning them personal value. Dislikes, the inescapable realities of human existence. Notes, Felix is my father and legal guardian.
And, is he a good dad?
I have no point of comparison, but I would say no.
No? Why not?
You asked me a binary question. Do not get upset that I provided one of the two possible answers.
What makes him a bad father, Fifi?
He has trouble expressing his emotions, and something of a willful detachment from reality.
Huh. Just like you, then.
Grimoire.
No, he is quite correct.
Yeah, so we were getting that feeling that Felix kind of lives in his own fantasy of grandeur, but it's obvious that he doesn't actually get out. This place feels more like a prison with each person we talk to.
Name, Fiona Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, amateur microbiologist. Likes, the meaningful archiving of information. Dislikes, the superfluous window dressing accompanying the majority of human contact. Notes, kindly disregard the polysyllabic form of my given forename and refer to me instead as Fifi.
How come you prefer Fifi?
How come you prefer Grimoire?
How are you related to the other fellows?
Fitz is my cousin. His father, a man named Flint, was my uncle.
Was?
I do not know if Flint is alive or not. He left Tangle Tower a long time ago.
And what about Freya? How are you related to her?
We share exactly one grandparent.
Yeah, so this is Fiona. I don't know if, like, that... I can't remember. Did Felix call her Fiona? I think so. So yeah, this is Fiona.
Name, Freya Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, artist. Deceased.
She got slower.
Understand this. Most people find me difficult. They exhibit a noticeable degree of discomfort when talking to me. There it is. Freya, who had a way of being an exception to any given rule, was not at all like this. She is very important, and I will not rest until I understand what has happened to her.
Did you spend a lot of time with Freya recently?
I will say this. In the past year, Freya became, 1, increasingly independent, and 2, increasingly isolated.
Do you know why?
I do not. If you are looking for a speculative, empathetic opinion, try asking Poppy instead.
The three of you are friends.
We are of a similar age, and all highly gifted. 1 scientist, 1 artist, and 1 musician.
Sounds like quite a team.
So yeah, we'll get to meet Poppy later. Let's start just going through our stuff. I'll just keep doing this when we go back to people.
What is your opinion of Tangle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate gardens, unique architecture.
Must be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of Tangle Tower.
That's quite an inheritance.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi. If you don't want the house, just tell them. Or just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like her.
Oh. Something Freya must have said to her.
I require facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell.
Correction. She was stabbed with something. There was no knife found at the crime scene,
Apart from the one in the painting.
which as a mere abstract representation does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept of a knife. The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp. Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
We're working on it.
We are?
Curious.
So she doesn't know about the letter either. Because this is a very strange clue for sure.
The red paint on the brush is not paint. It is blood. Same for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
Do not know the answer.
Yeah, that is very strange for that to be there. Because it looks like she was using it because it's on the painting.
Fifi, did you test the red paint in this pot?
Yes, I did. I discovered it too was blood, not paint.
A whole pot full of blood?
Not a whole pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah, but still. Doesn't that freak you out?
No. In fact, it may be considered rather reassuring.
Why?
Freya is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness, but in this painting, she has accidentally made Flora look quite young.
I think she was just being kind.
Why is that kind? Anyway, I'm far more interested in what Flora is holding. I performed the test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint, but blood.
What made you want to test it in the first place?
It was Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns no such knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark, and the substance itself was overly viscous.
You noticed that just from looking at it once?
Of course.
Yeah, she's... Her whole thing is that she likes these small details. It's like her whole thing. Of course she's gonna notice.
That belongs to my mother. I think she must be fond of eggs. There are a number of egg-shaped carvings to be found in the garden and in the Grand Hall.
Yeah, what's the deal with all the eggs?
Some people just like eggs.
It's her special interest.
The gramophone belongs to Poppy, but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did it get cracked?
I cannot pinpoint it exactly. All I know is that it must have happened sometime in the last 2 days.
So, probably during the murder. 'Cause that's, it's very odd.
Is she laughing?
So she knows something.
A wooden carving of my father, made by my father. Although, now that I look at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint the red parts without any red paint.
That's a good point.
This photograph is my favorite photograph.
So, why'd you rip it in half?
That was not me. Besides, it was not a half that was ripped off. It was only a third.
So there's one other person in the picture.
I believe Freya was attempting to communicate something through this painting.
Any idea what it was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever. There is a drawing of me, a drawing of Detective Hawkshaw, and a drawing of Poppy and Fitz.
Interesting that she did say Detective Hawkshaw. I wonder if that detective is here.
Do you know who was reading this book?
It belongs to my mother.
And she left it in the library?
No, my mother has not been in the library for some time.
Alright. We got all we could from her.
Fifi's bedroom should be unlocked now.
Yes, because this isn't her room, this is the library.
Can't wait.
Later. go there later. I do want to talk to the other people, the pointers. Let's go back in here. We got quite a bit. I think that's a good place to stop, though. I wanted to at least stop after we met some of the fellows. We haven't met them all, I believe. I believe there's one more fellow we haven't talked to. But we're well into an hour, so I think this is a good place to stop. Met a good... We have a few of our suspects. So we met the majority of the fellows. They all seem very detached from each other. It's a very odd relationship that they have. And it's probably just this tower, this mansion and all that. There's a lot more to uncover for sure. We still have a lot more people to meet. But for now, I think that's where we're gonna stop it. And we don't have too much to go on the murder. We don't know what killed her. We don't know if it's a knife, because they keep pointing out that's very abstract, an abstract representation, so it's probably not a knife. But if that's true, then what stabbed Freya? But we'll figure that out in another part. So, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.